the new setup is going to be the universal carbon fiber chassis. I have the brass skid plate on the bottom already installed. Everything is pretty much locked down, so now I just want to get these pieces in real quick. So I'm going to do the front. All the links are already hooked up and connected. So the first links that I'm going to push these lower links up. I'm going to get my screws in place. So I like to pre-build the actual axles and then just be able to put the links with everything else together. So we're going to line that up on the lower part. I got my thread lock, and then we're just going to go and get it snug. So I hope you guys seen that. It just slid all the way through. So there's no thread on the outer side of the brass. So we're just going to get that snug. So now I'm going to rotate this. So if I tilt this over, you can see that's the hole that we're going for right there. So it should just slide right in all the way till it gets to the inner side, and that's where you're going to have the tension to screw. That's where it should be, where you have to start screwing counterclockwise, clockwise or righty-tighty. So I'm just getting it snug. Time to do the bottom links. So now we're just drop this down. I'm gonna line it up with that one. And it's going to be the same, so we're going to get it nice and snug. We got the thread lock on there already, so we're good. I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to grab another screw. So all these screws are going to be the same size. So if you want to, you can just hold the screw up to the actual carbon fiber itself, and that's where the screw should be. That's how long it should be. So it's up against the carbon fiber right there. And we need 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. All right. So once you measure one with the chassis, you can measure the rest with each other. And we're gonna go with that hole right there. Line that up. This one's gonna be finicky. It looks like my big hands are in the way. So I got it in place. Make that snug. So if you're thinking and worried about the axles, don't worry about them. I'll show you guys that later. If you notice, my transmission is not even in place. So if your transmission was connected to your skid plate, I wouldn't do this right now without the axles all connected. Okay, so I have the rear here. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take the lower links and flip them back. And then we're going to... This thing is so far back. Oh my God. So then we're going to get the links set up in position here. Lock. Let's get this link lined up. And there we go. So as you can see right there, nice and smooth. We're gonna get it nice and snug. Not for nothing, since we're on this side, it might as well just do both of them on this side. So let me grab another screw. I feel like that's gonna mess me up. So I'm gonna rotate it and flip those links back over, or AKA upper link. So we're gonna go again. Oh. So we're gonna go again right in that hole for the upper links. So the upper links are supposed to be flat. if you are noticing, and then the lower links are going to be bent. So these guys are going to go right in between here. We're going to get nice and snug. Yeah, that might have gave me an issue. So I'm happy I went back to my original plan. So now I'm going to rotate the truck. Get my last screw with some anti-seize thread lock on it. And we're going to get right there. All right, and just connect that down. Nice and snug. Okay, so now real quick, I'm gonna get my rag. So yeah, though this rear is so far back, and the front is perfect, perfect where I want it. All right, so everything's looking really good. So this is the same truck. You could see how, let me switch to the overhead. So you can see how much room from the actual pumpkin here to the back of the truck, and then from the pumpkin here to the back of this truck. Everything's the same exact truck, but this is the high lift links. So they are bigger, they are longer, and everything. So that's gonna, you know, play a role with this particular setup and everything. I'm very proud of that. Okay, so now I have spacers on here, and I really like them because you could see right there, that's the spacer. And I put the spacers on the bottom towards the actual pumpkin because I wanted to be able, one, to see them, and two, because if they do add any additional weight, it would have been towards the bottom of the truck and not towards the top of the truck. So I didn't want it up this way. 3 millimeters in the back right now, and I have 1 millimeter in the front. So if you look at the top link right there, that's a 1 millimeter spacer on the top link on this side, and then on the opposite side I have another 1 millimeter spacer. So if we turn the truck around, you can see it right there, the spacer. And then in the rear, you can see the 3 millimeter spacer. What the spacers do is basically have spacers in here too. So if you can see, it's probably easier to see here. So if you can see, when my axle droops all the way down, you see my drive shaft right here, how it tilts up and it stays tucked in with the links a little bit. That's what the spacers do. They push the axle, the hub, on an angle going up or down depending on where you put the actual spacers. So if I get full droop, so you see that's full droop, it's not sticking out as much, and then it tucks all the way in when it's up like that. And then I got the same over here. So depending on how you want to set up your rig, that's going to determine that. Definitely check out the links below for the whole playlist for this build. With that being said, my name is Hugo with Urban Crawlers. Thanks you guys for watching. Later.